The problem with plated rounds is that you need a massive magazine to make the buff worthwhile, but the buff doesn't last very long, so you need to be able to fire out that magazine in about 10 seconds. Now, one way to do that is to use a weapon that has a massive magazine and can fire out multiple rounds at once. This is where the Quellor comes in. This is a primary rifle that has a 300 round magazine and a secondary fire that fires out 50 rounds at once, dealing 1400 damage, which is split between code and impact with a 40% crit chance, 2.2 times crit multiplier, and a 10% status chance. The primary fire is also not bad actually, it's more status focused, it does primarily puncture and code damage with a decent amount of slash, and it has a 12% crit chance, 1.6 times crit multiplier, and a very good 38% status chance. It is a bit of a pain to get though, because it only drops from commanders and captains in Saturn, Vale, and Earth Proxima, and only in specific missions as well. Though luckily the blueprint is tradable, so if you don't want to farm it yourself, you can just buy it from someone else. So this is why we're going to use the Quellor. Alternate fire charge is a short-range code blast capable of piercing enemies. I think this has infinite body punch through, it does a ton of damage, and it fires out 50 rounds at once. So let's get an adapter in here. I think I'm gonna have to rank this up a little bit because 5 seconds, even with us firing 50 rounds, I don't think 5 seconds is gonna be enough. Do we want to go hybrid on this? Because the secondary fire, yeah, it has massive crit chance, but not a ton of status. Well, let's start off with chamber. Let's get scope as well. And for now, let's just run aptitude for some condition overload. 18% status, that's not great. Let's see how much fire rate we need to put on this to actually utilize plated rounds. Oh, that's slow. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot. The damage is pretty dope though. I don't have an empty mag, but how much of a buff do we get? Okay, 495, that's... Oh yeah, that's pretty good. If we can make this work, this is gonna be pretty strong, I think. I think we just go for Vile Acceleration. I don't think Speed Trigger is gonna be enough. So let's sacrifice a bit of damage. And run Vile Acceleration. Oh yeah, that's it, right there. There we go. Let's see if we can get some plated rounds here. God damn, not a single one. I saw a few cheap ones on Warframe Market, so let's get to rank 4. That gives us 8 seconds instead of 5. It's not 10, but I don't know what it is. I've never enjoyed farming arcanes. There we go, level 100. Let's not do Steel Path just yet. I mean, it kicks even without the buff, which is nice, so we don't have to worry about just being absolutely useless before we reload. Once we do reload, though, we get... That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. It's not one-shotting them, though. And we just about managed to fire it out before the buff runs out. Okay. You have to be really fast, though. This is what I don't like about plated rounds. The window to, like, use the buff is so short. I want to put in, there it is, Hunter Munitions, because we hit very hard, we crit every single time. So, this makes a lot of sense. Let's also not forget about Vital Sense. I was like, why am I not one-shotting these heavy gunners? Well, I had like 3.5 mods on the build. Let's move this here, because I want to run Primed Fast Hands for much faster reload. Now, another way to do this would actually be holstered reloading, but I don't like that. And to top it all off, we're gonna add Malignant Force, which combines with the cold to give us Vital. Tremendous! My recording messed up, but all I did here was put a D under aptitude so that we can run Rifle Ammo Mutation, because, well, we're gonna need mutation. We're firing out 50 rounds at once. I think it's time to test out Steel Path. Alright, last shot. That feels better with Prime Fast Hands. What about the damage? Oh, alright. Alright. Now that's something. I still don't like this. Yeah, the buff is out. I still don't like the short duration. I think it's just too short. I know I don't have it maxed out, but still, that's 2 extra seconds. That's not a lot. This needs to be like, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 seconds at max rank. Let's add Harold for some extra priming. 185. What the? Okay. I have a feeling that Galvanized Aptitude is multiplicative on this, because when they're primed by Harold, bloody hell, wrong button. When they're primed by Harold, the damage is insanely higher. We do have too much fire rate for this, but still, this should be better than Hunter Munitions, right? Because it's 35%. The secondary fire has a guaranteed impact proc, right? This is 30% on a crit. But bleeding is 35. It's much more expensive capacity-wise, but it is better. Yeah, it is multiplicative. Only on the secondary fire, though. Interesting. Well, it's gonna suck at the start. Or not. The damage is actually really good, but the duration. Like, it works fine in the simulacrum, because you can just fire away, right? The enemies are nicely clumped up. But in a normal mission where you actually have to aim and pick targets, and ideally hit multiple enemies at once so you don't blow away ammo all the time, I don't know, I think I would rather have Merciless or just something else. Ammo is running a bit low, mainly because a lot of the time, like right now for example, I don't have plated rounds, because, well, the buff just ran out. So it takes a few shots to take the enemies down, which is unfortunate. I kind of like the primary fire more as well. It's just cool. Show me the health damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's not weak. Like, it definitely works. The damage is there. It's just that I just don't like it. Let's try a primary build instead. Let's take out scope, vital set. No, let's take that out. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of bleeding. I like the fire rate, so we're keeping that. I like the reload speed, so we're keeping that as well. There we go, reshuffle the polarities a little bit. You go there, you go there. I have a feeling Mech Special is gonna be really good on this, so let's get corrosive in there. Radiation, this will also help with the reload, so that's gonna be tremendous. And we have to go with cold here. We can't go with heat, but that's okay. Rhyme rounds. There we go. Absolutely want to run Deadhead. That's like a no-brainer here because it's easy to stack up. We have no damage over time. We get the headshot multi and the negative recoil. Oh, this is so much better. This is fantastic. Absolutely love it. Cold procs make it easier to get headshots as well. While we're here, let's also do a shardless test. It's not as good as it is with shards, but it's not far off. This is still very strong. One thing that really throws me off with this gun is the mag, because I fire it for like 3 seconds and I have like this need to reload, but I still have like 200 rounds in the mag. It's very good though. I'm liking this a lot. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a hit scan weapon. It just has like a cosmetic trail behind the fake bullets. So it's very easy to headshot with it. Oh, that's why it's... All right, that's why it's only multiplicative on the secondary fire and not the primary. Okay, show yourself. Oh man, right. Cold procs. Cold procs are the bane of Acolytes. Look at him. Look at Violence. Yeah. Cold versus Acolytes is amazing because of this right here. Also, the damage is very good. I have enough I have enough rounds left in the mag for another Acolyte. So, while you can definitely do a plated rounds build on the Quellor, and it works well, it does great damage, it's pretty gimmicky and I didn't like it, so we ended up doing a more boring build for the primary fire instead. We're running Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Galvanized Aptitude for status chance and condition overload, Vile Acceleration for a ton of fire rate, and Primed Fast Hands for a ton of reload speed. However, if you don't mind holstering the weapon for a bit and letting it reload on its own, you can actually solve the reload issue with this because the reload is very long with Tactical Reload, which reloads 20% of your magazine every second while the weapon is holstered. The benefit of using this is that it's an Exilus mod, so you can replace Rifle Ammo Mutation, which you really don't need for the primary setup, and you get a free mod slot to put in something else. But anyway, we're also using Rhyme Rounds for cold damage and status chance, Radiated Reload for radiation damage and reload speed, and then Malignant Force and High Voltage for corrosive damage and even more status. Now, if you're not gonna go with Tactical Reload in the Exilus, you can put whatever you want in there or just leave it blank, and for the Arcane, I chose Primary Deadhead, which is easy to stack, it gives you a bigger headshot multiplier, and it reduces the weapon's recoil. I'm glad we tried the plated round setup, even if I ended up not liking it, because at least that way you saw what it can do and what it's capable of, so if it is your kind of thing, you can give it a shot. And even if it isn't your kind of thing, you can try the primary setup instead. It's very fun and pretty damn strong. And I think this video is long enough, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.